Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Colts Cast. We're here to talk about anything and everything Indianapolis Colts. I am your host, Jamal Lawrence, coming at you today with the solo force just to talk about some more free agency potential moves that the Indianapolis Colts can make as the date approaches closer. Now, before we go ahead and get into this, can everybody please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me? Let me know that you are listening, you are here, you're live. Also, please drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about this potential pickup for us, or who you would like to see in the free agency pickup, if anybody. Um, Without further ado, I think we can go ahead and jump right into it. I won't hold you long today, but this guy we're talking about today goes by the name of Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons. I mean, before we even talk about him, the safety pool for free agency, it just continues to grow day after day, and the Colts have many more options than not. Many more options than not for us. I'm really enjoying seeing all these defensive players pop up at cornerback, at safety, etc., because I know that the potential is there. But the biggest question, the biggest elephant in the room is, will Chris Ballard make a move on any of these players? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But until we can find out, let's go ahead and have some fun and talk about, what'll happen. Maybe if he decides to, maybe if he doesn't. Now, you may be asking yourself or your computer, why is Jamal talking about a soon-to-be 31-year-old safety as a potential pickup? I know. Age this, age that. We've talked about older people or people who are around this age as well on a couple other episodes and caught a lot of flack for it, but it's all good because there's a reason. There's a reason why I'm talking about a guy like him. When we have a GM like Chris Ballard, and I don't know how many of y'all watched this show, but who's as cheap as Terry Crews when he played Julius on Everybody Hates Chris? You have to put realistic thoughts in your head. All the information we got to bring to you has to be realistic. We know that Ballard does not like to spend money. Historically, he doesn't like to spend money. There's no denying that. So sometimes you have to entertain these people who are on the older side, on the back half of their game, but can still get the job done. Now, we know Justin Simmons was released by the Broncos earlier today to clear up just over, I think it was $14 million in cap space after they took that brutal $85 million hit from Danger Russ. They got to figure out a lot of stuff out there in Denver. And hey, that's their problem. That's not our problem. I'm glad that's not our problem because I'll be sick to my stomach if I had to worry about that every single day. So that just adds him to a laundry list of safeties that are free agents ahead of the March 11th official date for us. And just means that we get to have more fun talking about what the future could possibly be here for us in Indianapolis. Now, I could go on and on about a lot of them. I really could on the list, but the reality of it is that many of them will get re-signed with new deals, and some of the other ones will just get too much money that Chris Ballard isn't probably willing to spend. He probably likes to either A, get a vet, or B, just shop in or just go to the draft and try to develop people. He attacks those raw scores, try to find someone who could take over the next couple of years and develop into a great player. So with that being said, should he do it this offseason? I mean, he says he's ready for this offseason to get better. He's ready for this team to take the next leap. I think Shane Steichen's obviously ready for this team to take the next leap into an elite team. And I think that we have the tools currently on the team, but we also have the money to get better tools on the team as well and really elevate this team to the next level. We have a really young safety room at this point. We need to have a vet mentor and a dominant player on the field. So why not go ahead and insert Justin Simmons there? I know and understand he's 31. And, at that age, listen, it could be anything. He's played, 87% of his snaps last year. He's been on the field, was a Pro Bowler last year. I think 2019, 3 years in a row, been second team All-Pro. He's still giving us some great play. And by us, I mean the Broncos. He's given them some great play. So I think he still has some gas in the tank. And just to be clear, I personally don't think if they would have had all the issues going on with Russ, with all that dead cap right there, he probably would still be on the team today. I don't think they'd be fighting for that $14 million that he was going to hold up for them. I mean, again, when you're having $85 million plus that other money, every single dime counts at that point. But enough about the Broncos. So according to Nate Atkins, I saw this on Twitter, he's been All-Pro for the past 3 years, like I just mentioned, and he's also led the safeties and interceptions with 30 since 2016. 30 interceptions. That's what we need as a turnover. We need someone who can help us be impactful on the turnover game. We're playing against a lot of great wide receivers for the foreseeable future in the AFC South. And the last thing we need to worry about is getting burned like we did against the Texans early on during the season. Guys, we got to have somebody out there who can make a play on these guys. And this is someone who can do it. If the Colts decide to retain Julian Blackman, we can pick up a guy who has experience playing both free safety and strong safety with no issues at all. So why not go ahead, especially because a lot of people do enjoy Blackman and what he's brought to the table in the organization for us. So let him go ahead and stay there. You pick up someone like Justin Simmons that he can fit right into this scheme and continue to elevate this team. Not to mention he's a ball hawk, can play downhill, made great reads against vet quarterbacks. And again, like I said, he was already going to go against some pretty good receivers. So we're going to need any and everything that we can get at this point. He could also be a bargain for us. Of course, his age, that plays huge dividends for us. That appeals to Ballard. Ballard doesn't like to spend money. I mentioned at the top of the episode, Sports Track has him looking like an estimated contract of 2 years for $22 million. That's something I would be more than glad to entertain. And you can probably throw some incentives in there, maybe get that money a little down. I don't know. You can figure out something in there to where we're taking $10, $11 million at that safety spot, maybe a lot more attainable than Ballard throwing away. I shouldn't say throwing away, but wanting to use 15, 16 million towards that side of the ball because I don't see him doing that. So I personally think Simmons, even though he is 31, or he will be 31 years old come the start of the season, he could still help us out a whole lot, guys. He can definitely help us out. He can give us the experience. He can give us the leadership component there and help build these young guys up for at least another year or two because Ballard doesn't like to give out those long-term contracts to these guys who aren't in-house, some of these top players. So why not go ahead and utilize someone like him who still has some gas in the tank when we know the reality of it is that we probably won't get one of these young safeties that we have to pay top dollar for because that's just not in the makeup of Ballard. That's just not him. I think he'd rather just go straight to the draft and figure something out like that. So I'd rather him spend a little change on someone who's older, who can come in with a presence, be a playmaker for us, fit this scheme, and help us dominate on or get to a dominant position on the defensive side of the ball because everyone who's a Colts fan and everyone who's not a Colts fan knows we need all the help we can get on the defensive side of the ball. So someone like him can definitely help us out with that. Again, I'm curious to know what y'all's thoughts are, just because I think that some people will disagree, and that's fine. We're all entitled to our own opinions. Drop your comments below because I want to know how you feel about it. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If there's someone else you would like that you think that would actually be someone Ballard would entertain, please let me know because I'll be more than glad to get some more information on them, maybe even drop an episode on them as well to talk about the ins and outs of what they can bring to us in this organization. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. I appreciate you listening today. Again, Colts Cast, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you listen, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Take care. Have a great weekend.